End of the stream. Okay. All right. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Marco Brown, and I'm going to come and talk to the attorneys in the room. Actually, this kind of really applies to any professional, but I'm a divorce attorney in Salt Lake, so I'm going to talk specifically to the attorneys. I'm going to talk to you about the most powerful sales framework and closing framework that I have ever encountered. Now, I cannot take credit for this at all. This is something I learned a little bit intuitively, but mostly from Grant Cardone, and the framework and putting together the acronyms and everything, those come from Grant Cardone. But brilliant guy when it comes to sales and the closing. So we're going to go over this. Okay, the framework, I'm going to preview it for just a second, then I'm going to tell you a little bit about me as an attorney, and then we'll go through the framework. So the framework really is PFAB. So I'm going to turn my back here. So product, feature, advantage, benefit. Okay, product, feature, advantage, benefit. This is how you talk with your potential clients. And I'm going to talk about some other applications as well. But if you do this and you talk to your potential clients in this framework, you are going to close more clients, like a lot more clients. Okay, since we've been using this, it's really upped our game, being able to sell to potential clients and then to close on potential clients so we can help them. So, but before I get into this, I just want to talk to you a little bit about who I am and a little bit about my story. Again, my name is Marco Brown, and I grew up in a little village in Alaska, 85 people. It's called Cold Bay. My parents were government workers, okay? So I know absolutely nothing in my early life about sales. I know nothing about lawyering. I know nothing about business. I know nothing about any of this stuff. My dad ran a salmon hatchery in Cold Bay, Alaska. Like I said, 85 people. So all of my social problems come from the fact that I grew up in a village in Alaska with 85 people. But we're out there. I was there from 0 to 13, and Dad ran a salmon hatchery. My mom, Marcia, was an air traffic controller. So good, solid people, wonderful parents, absolutely love them. Still both alive and old and live in Phoenix like old people do, it seems like. But they taught me what they knew that had nothing to do with business. They were terrible business people. They tried it a little bit out a little bit later on in life. They're very bad at it. So I got none of that. And in law school, I was going to be a psychologist and then decided to go be a lawyer. In law school, of course, you learn absolutely nothing about business or anything remotely like it, because let's face it, our law professors are bureaucrats and they don't have any idea what they're talking about when it comes to actual lawyering. So I get out, I clerk for judges for a year, and then I go work for a big law firm in New Mexico, 50 guy shop. They don't teach me anything about it either. They just kind of sat me in a cell for 2 years and made me do stuff, write things. Never even went to court. Hated that job, every fiber of my soul, and left. Then came here to Utah in 2010. Not a good year to be a lawyer, but decided that I was going to open a law firm, because if I didn't do it at that point, I was never going to do it. So I opened a law firm and had to figure it all out. So I spent the first about 5 years not knowing how to bill, not knowing how to acquire clients. I mean, I kind of figured out a little bit, just brute force. I got some clients, and friendships that I had with other attorneys. I got some clients, and by the grace of God, that happened. But for the first 5 years, didn't really know anything about it at all. Then got a little bit better about it. Started really deciding, okay, I need to kind of up my game when I started hiring attorneys, and decided that I didn't want to be an attorney like in the trenches every day for the rest of my life. I thought about that, and that was not a good option for me. Okay, so I knew I had to change. Started trying to learn a bit about sales and about closing. happened upon a guy named Grant Cardone and read tons and tons of stuff. Grant is the one that I kind of follow the most because I think his way of doing things is the best and it kind of fits my style. I like his candor about things and how difficult it is, but really he focuses on here are the steps you need to go through in order to make this stuff happen. Okay, there's a framework. There aren't like magic words or anything, but there's a framework that you need to fulfill, that you need to go through, and that helps close clients so you can help those clients, right? Because if we don't sell clients and we don't close clients, then we can't help anybody. So that's a little bit about my story and kind of how I came to where I am. But I went to Grant's sales workshop in Miami probably 6-8 months ago. And I'd been doing a bit of this before, but I learned this framework there. And it was like a light went off. It was absolutely beautiful. So I came back. This is what we talk about in our sales meeting every morning. This is the framework that we use in order to close clients. Okay, so let's get into this. We've got product, feature, advantage, benefit. Now, product is really what you're selling, okay? So if you're a professional and you sell widgets, your product is a widget. If you're Toyota and you sell cars, your product is a car, right? Whether it's a Corolla or a Camry or whatever it is. As lawyers, and I'm a divorce lawyer, so as divorce lawyers, we don't sell a product so much. Maybe you productize what you do, but very, very few attorneys have been able to do that. So we sell service. So really, product is the service that we sell, okay? So we, as divorce attorneys, sell, representation during divorce or during family law cases, okay? So that's fairly easy. So you know what that is. So that's your service. Okay, a feature, and I'm gonna grab the book here. A feature is a distinctive attribute about what you do. So let's do this. I'm gonna erase some of this stuff. And I'll put it back up there, don't worry. Okay. I'm still getting used to this board. Okay. Okay, so a feature is a distinctive attribute about what you do, about your service as an attorney, okay? Now we have advantage, which is a favorable position to your client. And I apologize because I write absolutely terrible. So that is actually an F. I will make that an F. Okay. So this is a favorable position to your client. And I'm going to give you not only the framework, but I'm going to show you how we do this. Okay. So you're going to get kind of a much better idea of it. But it's a favorable position to your client. So how does this kind of at a lower level advantage your client? Okay. So that's the feature and then the advantage. And before I learned this framework, product, feature, advantage, benefit, I had been doing product or service, advantage, feature and advantage when I was talking with people, but then the benefit is the thing that kind of wraps it all together, okay? So the benefit is this 30,000 foot view of what your client gets, okay? So ultimately, what does your client want? What is your client ultimately getting out of your service, what you're doing as an attorney, okay? So not just so I'm going to give you this example, but one of the features that we talk about is how we communicate with our clients. Okay, so we communicate a lot with our clients. We tell our clients and potential clients how that's going to benefit them, that it's going to get their case done quicker, that we're going to be on the same page and so forth. But that doesn't ultimately tell our client what the real overall benefit to our service, to us representing them, is. So you have to figure that out. Like what problem are you solving for your client? What humongous problem are you solving for your client, right? And every attorney has this really, really big problem they're solving. And that is your ultimate benefit. Okay, so again, we'll go over this, but our ultimate benefit is we maximize the time our clients have with their kids, and we maximize the money they get out of their divorce. That is our ultimate benefit. Okay, now sometimes it's a little bit different depending on the client, because maybe the client doesn't have kids, or the client doesn't really care about money, so it's just about maximizing the kids, whatever. Our ultimate benefit is maximizing time with kids and maximizing money, right? We sat down, we thought about that for a long time. That is the 30,000 foot view of the most important thing that our clients get from our representation, from our service for them, okay? Every attorney can do this. Sit down, figure out what that humongous benefit to your client is, okay? And that is the ultimate benefit. So you're going to go through, it's like service, you're going to talk about features, you're going to talk about advantages to the client, just kind of advantages lower level. But then at the end, you got to wrap it up and you got to say, okay, now that we've talked about all those features and advantages, what is the ultimate benefit to you? Like, why should you do this? Why should you spend this money? It's got to be this big thing. So you figure out your benefit, wrap it all up. That's gonna close clients, man. It's gonna close a ton of them. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to put the acronym back up here. So product, feature, advantage, and benefit. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through what we do and how we talk about this when we're sitting down with potential clients and in our consultations and we're closing them. So just to give you an example of how you can do this as well. And really what you need to do, again, sit down. First thing you do, sit down and figure out the ultimate benefit that you're providing for your clients. And then you can figure out all the features and all of the advantages for your clients, okay? But come up with that big benefit first, and then you can kind of backfill all this other stuff in here. So, okay. So we don't really need to talk about the P, the product. If you're an attorney, again, this is the service that you provide, okay? And really, when I talk to attorneys, I always tell them you should be doing one thing and you should be doing it extraordinarily well. We only do one thing at Brown Family Law, that is family law. We do divorce, we do child custody cases. That's really it. I don't even do adoptions. I'm an adoptive father. We do them every once in a while to help people out, but we just don't do them because we're not good at it. It's a different substantive area of law, right? So we have thrown all of our chips on the table in divorce and child custody cases. That's it. I think every attorney should do that if every attorney can. Maybe you're in a rural area and you can't do that, so you have to do a couple things, whatever. But what you need to do is come up with the benefit for that particular thing you do, right? Every different area of law needs to have a different benefit because you're doing different things. If you're doing water law and DUIs, benefits are entirely different, right? The benefit on a DUI is that you have peace of mind that you're not going to be branded a criminal for the rest of your life, or you're going to be able to drive your car afterward, whatever that big benefit is. But that's going to be very different from water law, which is, hey, I'm never going to have to worry about water rights attached to my land in the middle of Utah or the middle of Oklahoma, and I have peace of mind because I never have to worry about that again. Like that's going to decrease my property value if I don't have the water rights, whatever it is. You come up with that huge benefit, but they're going to be totally different. So you need to do it for each substantive area of law that you engage in. I just happen to think it's a lot easier to do one thing and to do it extraordinarily well. And that's the only thing you do. So, okay. So again, the P is really the service that you provide. Okay. So let's run through the features and the advantages that we talk about with every client when we sit down with them to kind of give you an example of what you need to do. And this is a list. This is a list we go through with every potential client. We actually write this stuff down and talk to them about it in every consultation. Because we write it down because people trust what they see and not what they hear, okay? And you want to sit down and you want to do this list, because the more things you write down, the more advantages and features that you write down, the more value that a potential client is going to see in what you do. Okay, so write it all down. If you've been doing this for 20 years, write it down. If you communicate in a special way like we do, write it down. If you are the cheapest guy on the block, which you shouldn't be, but if you are, write it down, right? That's a feature. All of these features you want to write down, and then you want to attach advantages to them. And the advantages are how it advantages your client, how it sets you apart, how it helps them as a client. So let's go through how we do it and the list that we give people. Okay. I'll actually put this off to the side so you know what's going on. Product, feature, advantage, benefit. Okay. So here we're going to do the features, and the first one is communication. Okay, so the way we do things, communication is extraordinarily important to us. The number one complaint people have with divorce attorneys is I call and I can't get a call back. This is exactly the same problem that people have with all attorneys, but I'm a divorce attorney, so I specialize, I particularize it to what we do. So number one complaint people have with divorce attorneys, they call, they can't get a call back. So we've gone through and we have solved this problem. In addition to all the normal communication you're going to have with your legal team, text, phone call, email, and I'm giving you the pitch like I give potential clients the pitch right now. This is the script that I use. You want to come in and talk with us face-to-face? Great. In addition to all that, your paralegal is going to text you every Wednesday. See how you're doing, answer any questions you have. Every Friday, your attorney is going to call you. So if you talk on a Tuesday, you're going to talk again on a Friday. Talk about how your case is going, answer any questions for you. Okay. And the reason, so that's the feature. Okay. So the communication is the feature. Now I'm going to get to the advantage. The reason we do this is now I'm forgetting. The reason we do this is it puts us on the same page. Okay. So the first advantage is same page, working toward the same goals. Okay, so you can call that alignment, you can call it whatever you want, but I say same page, same goals. That really works well for our clients. And then gets cases done quicker. Okay, so you see what I did? This is the feature. Okay, communication is the feature. It sets us apart because of how we do it. But the advantage to the client is it puts us on the same page, working toward the same goals, gets cases done quicker. Okay, those are the advantages. So there's one feature, 3 advantages on this one. Okay, so this is how you do it. Again, you sit down and you write out what are all the features for what I do as an attorney, and then you write down how each of those features advantages your client. Okay, and then you're going to pitch it. All right. Okay, so that's the first one. And I'm going to take you through all these because I want to share this with you. This is an exercise that everybody should be engaging in. And I want to show you exactly how we did it and exactly how we have refined it over the years. Okay, so the second is exclusive focus. We focus exclusively on divorce and child custody cases. And we do this because we want to be the best at what we do. Okay? That's the advantage to the client, is that we are the best in this one field. And you can say that and they understand exactly what you're saying. So you don't need to articulate it too much. You just say, hey, look, we do one thing because we're going to do that thing better than everybody else. Okay. So that one's pretty simple. And look, you don't need to make it complicated, okay? If your feature is really straightforward and the advantage is really straightforward, then don't say too many words, right? We're attorneys, we talk too much. Don't do that. Third is system. All right, I promise that's a lie. Okay. So the way I articulate this is this exclusive focus on divorce and family law allows us to create systems in which all of our people and everything we do is built for getting our clients their ideal results. Okay. So system is the feature. Ideal results is the advantage to the client. Okay. Again, that one's pretty straightforward. Okay. Number 4 is team. So we work everything as a team. We sit down with each other. We strategize with one another. We quality control each other's work. We read each other's work before it goes out to the court. It builds a better service for our client. So the feature is the team, and then better service for the client is the advantage. Okay. Hopefully you're starting to see how this functions. All right. It does not have to be complicated. In fact, it shouldn't be complicated. You should use terms and use words that your client is going to understand and say it as quickly as you can. Okay. So that was number 4. If I did that correctly. Number 5. Okay, cap the number of cases. So what we do here with Brown Family Law is we actually cap the number of cases attorneys can have. I tell them you can go other places, they have 60, 80, 90 cases simultaneously. They don't even know their clients' names. Think about trying to call 90 people on a Friday. You can't. It's impossible to call 90 people on a Friday if you're an attorney. So they just don't get communicated with, right? And they don't know their clients' names, they don't know their cases. So we don't do that. We cap the number low to keep the quality really high, okay? So the advantage is high quality and lots of communication. Okay. And clients understand this sort of stuff, okay? They understand communication. Clients do not understand when we make good legal arguments or bad legal arguments. They're not good discerners. They really don't get it. But what clients do understand is that you are empathic toward them, that you understand their case, that you are trying to help them, and that you communicate with them a lot. These are the things they understand. So these are the things that you should communicate as advantages, because they are advantages. They actually do help us get cases done quicker. They do help us get cases done better for our clients and their kids. But also, these are the things that our clients understand and want to hear. So give it to them. Okay? So that's number 5. And if you say something like this, like cap the number of cases, I almost never have people ask me the question, how many cases? But you got to be ready to actually answer that question. So when you're putting together your list, the advantages, the features, then you do kind of you do need to be able to answer the questions that your clients are going to ask. Okay, the next one is goodwill. So this is a little less intuitive than the others. The way I describe this is we as lawyers in the law firm go help the judges and the commissioners here in Utah with these crazy cases where they don't have anybody helping them. They just want volunteers to come in and help them get these cases off their docket, right? And we as attorneys understand that. We fully get that, but our clients tend not to understand exactly what that means. So you explain it to them. I explain it to them for a minute, and then I say, the reason we do this is it builds trust, it builds goodwill with the commissioners and the judges. So when we go before them on our cases, they know, like, and trust us. Okay. So really the advantage here to the client is that they are hiring an attorney that is known, liked, and trusted by the judicial officers in the area. Okay. They understand that sort of thing. They understand know, like, and trust, because the only way they will hire you as an attorney is if they know, like, and trust you. But they can't articulate that. They haven't articulated that to themselves. It's just how human beings do things. It's intuitive, but they've never kind of stated that out loud. Okay, so what you're doing, what I'm doing here, and what you can do, because if you want to rip these off, like, by all means, rip these off and make more money. That's totally cool. That's why I'm doing this. But you tell them exactly this. You articulate this for them, but you articulate it in the sense that somebody else knows, likes, and trusts us, and they think, oh yeah, I want that. I want to know, like, and trust the attorney, but I want an attorney that is known, liked, and trusted by the people that I'm going to go in front of. Right now, you're not saying that you're going to get them better results because of this. You're just saying that what we do builds goodwill, because it does. You volunteer with courts, it builds goodwill, and it, they know, like, and trust you because of this. Totally ethical, but you're telling them something and articulating something to them that they haven't quite articulated in their conscious mind, right? And that is very, very powerful. I experimented with these features and advantages for years, and I would just come up with random ones. I would just start writing them down and see what worked when I met with people. And this was one where I thought, this is kind of esoteric. I don't know if this is really going to do much, but people started responding to this a lot. They're like, oh, that's great. And when I got, that's excellent, that's great, I knew that this was a feature, and I knew that this articulation of the advantages to the client was like really, really resonated. So you got to experiment with some things, but this is one where I never thought this would work, and I just wrote it down, and people really responded to it. So take it and use it. But this one's fantastic. Okay, so number 7 is 10 plus years and coming up on 4,000 people helped. All right, like I said, if you've been doing this for 35 years, you've been doing this for 20 years, whatever it is, just write it down as a feature of what you do as a law firm, okay? So I have been doing this. I've owned Brown Family Law for 11 years now. So 10 plus years, coming up on 4,000 people helped. Okay, it's not at 4,000, it's coming up on 4,000. Not being unethical, but we're getting there. So what this does is it shows that, one, you've been around a long time, or we've been around a long time, and then we've helped a lot of people. So there's a little bit of social proof in this one. Okay, and this one, I don't even give the advantages really. I just lay this out there because the features are in the feature itself is the advantage, and they get that intuitively. So this one, I just lay that out there, but I do specifically go over an advantage, which is to say that having helped so many people, we have been able to help people in your exact situation. So we know what to do. We know the procedure. We know how to go through this, and we are able to help you because we have so much experience. So that's really the advantage. Ah, now I'm just misspelling words. So really it's experience in the client's particular situation, okay? And what I do here as well is when I do this, I don't make it generalized. I actually tell them a little bit about their case. All right, at this point, we've sat down for 40 or 50 minutes. And I say, hey, look, helped, coming up on 4,000 people, helped lots and lots of ladies exactly in your situation. And then I tell them a little bit about their situation, a couple of attributes about their case. So, we deal with these controlling guys all the time. They don't want to pay you any alimony and they don't want to pay any child support. So what I'm doing here is to reiterate to the person sitting in front of me that these are the advantages to them, but I've also listened to them and I remember what they're saying and I remember their case. So I'm enveloping all of these things and recapitulating all these things to them at the end of the process, and that builds trust, right? Because you've listened to them. So, okay, that's number 7. And then number 8 is Google reviews. So what I do is I tell them how many Google reviews we have as of that day. So right now we have about 300 plus or minus. I think it's like 297. Okay. So I tell them, hey, look, you looked at us online, right? You're under 80 years old. Everybody does. You saw our Google reviews. We have 297 as of this morning, 5-star. And I check it every day because I want to make sure that we're doing excellent work for our clients, right? So really the implicit advantage is excellent work. And then the other aspect of this, the other advantage is social proof. Okay, so it's not just you saying it, right? It's proving that other people believe this, okay? And the reason I asked them, you looked at us online, is so they don't think that I'm just saying this, that we have 297. They've actually seen it for themselves because again, people believe what they see and not what they hear. Especially if you're the sales guy saying it, they're just not going to believe it. So I want them to tell me that they have looked online and seen the social proof. And then I reiterate the social proof and say that, that's because of our excellent work for our clients. Okay, so I'm reiterating that. Now, if they say, I haven't seen it at all, I might open up my computer and bring up our 5-star reviews and turn it to them and show them, right? Because again, people believe what they see. So if that's the case, bring it up, man. That is a feature of your law firm and they get the advantage, okay? But you have to show it to them. So that's the way we work this, okay? So that is really the end of the features and the advantages. Okay. Again, what I think, what you need to do to be really effective in this is sit down, come up with your benefit, and then come up with your features and attach advantages to those features, okay? And then you have to be able to pitch this. You have to know your list. You have to write your list down. They need to see the list so they can see it. People believe what they see. So they can see it, and you got to pitch it, man. This has to be a script in your head. You have to go over it hundreds and hundreds of times. You can pitch this thing in your sleep with absolutely no problem. there shouldn't be any ums, there shouldn't be anything. Like, this should be a script that you follow, and you can do it rapidly. Because the faster you do this, and the more fluid that you were able to go through your features, advantages, and benefits, the more people you're going to close, okay? Because you can do it with speed, you can do it with confidence, and when you do it with speed and confidence, they're going to sign up, okay? Now, I get to the end of the features and advantages, and then I say, look, we have designed this law firm and this system in this way for you to receive this benefit. And again, it's maximize time with kids, maximize money. Okay. In divorce, people fight about two things. They fight about kids and money. And I've said that line for years now. And I thought, oh my goodness, that is the benefit. Really? Like, maximizing time with kids and maximizing money is literally what every client we have, it's what they want. It is the ultimate benefit to them. It's why they pay us $10,000 to help them with their divorce, because that's a lot of money, right? On average, that's quite a bit of money. But when you think about it, it's spending $10,000 to be able to maximize the time with your kids until they're 18, to be able to do what's right by them, okay? And then to maximize your money, your assets, minimize your debts, maximize the amount of alimony you get, minimize the amount of alimony you pay, depending on who you are. All of these things is exactly what our clients want, and they will willingly pay us that amount of money when it's put in this way, when they are told this is the ultimate benefit to them. So you go through the features, you go through the advantages, and then the capper, man, and this is just Grant Cardone, it's such a beautiful thing. The capper is, what is the ultimate benefit to you as a client? And once you get to this place, you do this with speed, you do this with rapidity, you do this with confidence, you get to that ultimate benefit, and then, like, how do you want to pay? How do you want to do this? You ready to go? Right? Then you can get into buying questions, and I'll talk about those in probably another live stream. But you get to that point, and people are just going to say, take my credit card, give me the money. Okay. So hopefully this has been educational. Hopefully this has helped you. Sit down, figure out your ultimate benefit to your client. Sit down, figure out your features, figure out your advantages to each of those features. This may take you days. This may take you a week. Probably if you spend an afternoon doing it, you can get it done, okay? Then you do that, you come up with a script, like write it down, talk to yourself, however you need to say this to make sense in your mind, to make it make sense to your clients, and do not speak like a lawyer when you do this. Speak like a normal human being to a normal human being. But sit down, come up with that script, and then go over it and over it and over it, and refine it. Right? Refine it when you're talking with people. You're going to get it wrong in the beginning. That's totally fine. It's taken me years to get this really refined and tight. But you do that, you do it deliberately, your closing rate, ratio, rate, whatever you want to call it, is going to go up dramatically. Okay. So product, feature, advantage, benefit. Do this every time you meet with a potential client. And here's the other thing. This is the little bonus. You can do this to other attorneys. Okay. So maybe the product is you're sitting in mediation, okay? So the product is whatever offer you're giving to the other attorney. And you want to say, look, here's the feature and the advantage of my offer, and here's the ultimate benefit to your client. So you're giving them like the framework so they can go sell it to their client, right? Or that they don't really like their client anyway, and they just want out of the case. And you say, look, here's the feature and advantage, and here's the benefit to you. Ultimately, we get this done today and you get out of the case, right? Whatever it is, you're using this framework to sell to other attorneys, okay? You can use this framework to sell to judges as well. Like, this is the way you should think about selling essentially any legal argument or any proposition or negotiation that we use as attorneys. It just happens to be like easiest to use when you are sitting down with potential clients. But really, this is a framework. This is what we talk about at Brown Family Law all the time. Like, we use this during mediation. We use this during oral argument. We use this when we talk with other attorneys. We use this when we talk with our clients, right? Selling them on a pitch made by the other attorney. Like, we're using this all the time. So absolutely eminently useful. But sit down, do this. You will make a lot more money and you will help a lot more people if you go through this framework: product, feature, advantage, benefit. Okay. That's enough for today. You got any questions? You can always feel free to message me. I'm happy to help out attorneys however I can. I don't take pro bono cases because who wants to do another divorce, right? But I'm absolutely happy to help attorneys any way I possibly can to make more money and to help more people. So appreciate it. Again, the name is Marco Brown, and hopefully I've helped you out today. Thanks a lot. Bye.